The Inkatha Freedom Party is commemorating its 50th anniversary today with a rally at the Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi Stadium in Ulundi. The milestone comes in the absence of the party's founder, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, who passed away in September 2023 at the age of 95. Today's rally seeks to celebrate the party's legacy and honor the memory of its founder. Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise joins us live from the Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi Stadium in Ulundi. Good morning, and what can we expect from this occasion today? What does the program look like?
A very good morning, Chaba. So we are expecting the program to kick off at about 10 a.m. But there has been some hiccups along the way. We understand that there's been a bus accident in Vryheid that had supporters that were coming to Ulundi. We understand that the leadership is currently there and there are emergency personnel on the scene as well. So maybe that might impact the time of when this program is meant to kick off. But we know that ahead of today's rally, there have been a number of programs that have been going on to celebrate the 50th celebration of the party's formation in 1975 on the 21st of March by its founding member, the late Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, who founded this party initially as a cultural movement. Inkatha Yenkululeko Yesizwe, also referred to as Inkatha National, the Inkatha National Cultural Liberation Movement, and it morphed into a political party just ahead of that 1994 election, where the IFP formed a government of national unity under President Nelson Mandela. So now we understand that the program is meant to start at 10, but as I said, there has been an accident that took place in Vryheid with supporters and a bus on their way here. We also saw quite a number of buses, leading here. We know that they're expecting about 30,000 supporters to descend onto the stadium. I'm going to ask my colleague to just show you what it looks like at the moment. The people are slowly arriving. Even on the way here, there was some mist on the way to Ulundi, Maschaba, but that might also be the cause of the accident that we know has happened in Vryheid. But people are still coming in their numbers. Like I said, they are expecting around 30,000 supporters to descend onto the Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi Stadium here in Ulundi. But I want to bring into the conversation the IFP's Youth Brigade in the form of Mlungisi Mabaso, who is the Youth Brigade's National Secretary, and just to speak to him about how they plan to preserve the legacy of the IFP in the next 50 years, as well as they head into a century. As a Youth Brigade, how do you plan on preserving the legacy of the IFP, especially now that its founding member, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, is late?
Well, thank you very much. Greetings to yourself and the viewers at home. Well, I think for us it's easier. We are a generation that had an opportunity to lead while the Prince was still there, alive, to guide us, to teach us, even on the values of the organization. So we are going to take that and carry it forward. We are going to cascade it to the next generation for them to understand the founding principles of the organization, the purpose of the existence of the organization. And we appreciate that Umntwana Kapindangene founded this organization. It has been a vehicle for us to liberate our people, to work for our people, to change their living conditions. And we appreciate that a lot. And we also appreciate the members of the IFP, because they've been carrying this organization. Umntwana taught us that for the organization to be sustainable and to be strong, we need to mobilize it from the branch level going up. So that's how our structures are established in the organization. And we appreciate that our members at the branch level, have been a pillar of strength for this organization. And this organization was able to survive all the storms because of the strong branches that we held. And we are going to use that going forward, because from today onwards, we are going to pave a new path now, which is going to take us to 100 years. And we've got that responsibility as this generation that has celebrated 50 years to carry the organization, so that the next generation is able to take the organization and move forward. So we've got that responsibility, and we are going to make sure that the teachings of Umntwana Kapindangene, the principles that Umntwana Kapindangene taught us, we are going to make sure that they drive us to 100 years.
Do you think that his teachings and principles are being carried on now that he's late?
Well, even to date, there is stability in the organization. Forget about what is being said outside. Those of us who are in the organization, we can tell you we've got stability. We are supporting the leadership that is there. After the demise of Umntwana kaPhindangene, everyone thought that IFP was not going to see the light of the day. Here we are 2 years after Umntwana left us. The organization is growing. I mean, we are in government now. We are leading the province of KwaZulu-Natal. We've got a MSc in Gauteng. We've got ministers and deputy ministers at the national level. So the party is growing and it's growing very strong, and we appreciate that. So it is because of what Umntwana kaPhindangene taught us. He taught us to be united. He taught us to work for our people and not to consider ourselves. Our focus must be on the people, changing their living condition, making sure that services are being delivered to our people through the municipalities that we are governing and all the departments that we are governing. So that's what we are taught in the organization, and that's what we are going to use. I mean, the IFP was founded on non-racial, non-violence, servant leadership. So those are the founding principles of the organization, which is still carrying us even today. And that's why this organization is still united, and that's why we are still moving forward. And I can tell you, this organization is going to celebrate 100 years because the spirit of Umntwana still lives within us as members of the organization and leaders of the organization. And I can tell you, all of us united, we are supporting the leadership that is there, and we are rallying behind the leadership that is there because it was through the advice of Umntwana kaPhindangene, and that's why we've got these leaders that we have today.
And then Mlungisi, just moving away from the events that are taking place here today, the backdrop of this, there's been a tragic incident in Vryheid. Is there any information that you can perhaps give us, knowing that the leadership is currently on the scene as well to ensure what has happened? Do we know if there have been any fatalities and what the update is so far?
Well, there have not been any fatalities reported, and we thank God for that because today should be about jubilation. And unfortunately, there was that incident which occurred. We've got 4 that are critically injured, others sustained minor injuries, and we thank God for that, that there have not been any fatalities reported, and we are hoping that they are going to recover so that they are able to join our events going forward, because we are having this event as a kick-off to other events that are lined up as part of the celebration, even in different provinces. I know that they are coming from Gauteng, where I also come from. We'll be having other celebrations in Gauteng. So we are hoping that by the time we get to Gauteng, all of them would have fully recovered so that they participate and take part in these celebrations, because all of us as members of the organization, we do deserve this kind of celebration, considering the journey that we have walked as an organization and the storms that we have survived as an organization. So we wish them speedy recovery, and we are hoping that they are going to join us very soon. But it's 4 that were critically injured and the others sustained minor injuries.
Thank you very much. That is Mlungisi Mabaso, who is the Youth Brigade's National Secretary, also giving us an update there on that tragic incident that happened in the early hours of this morning in Vryheid with a bus of supporters that were heading here to the Prince Mangosuthu Stadium in Ulundi. But also, Mas Chaba, you'd know that currently the IFP, is number 5 in the National Assembly and has 2 ministers and 2 deputy ministers, as you would have heard Mlungisi also allude to. But also him speaking about storms, also quite a tainted past as well, as you'd remember the early 90s when there was quite a number of violence here in the KwaZulu-Natal province. And you'd know that that has also been a talking point throughout the years when you speak of the legacy of the Inkatha Freedom Party. But like I said, we are expecting things to kick off here at around 10 a.m.
Thank you very much, Nobuhle. Newzroom Afrika reporter Nobuhle Modise is joining us there from the Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi Stadium.